We're back after a wild weekend, a wild week of McNeese athletics. McNeese goes 8-0 on Saturday, including wins over Baylor, conference win at Nichols for baseball, basketball wins 2 on Saturday. You go 4-0 in basketball. You finish up 55. The last 3 years in men's basketball, you are 55-5 in the league, 59-5 overall against conference foes when you count tournaments. Amazingly, you are 84-16 overall.
That's pretty good.
That's
pretty
an
good.
amazing turnaround from the Heath Schroyer coaching days.
Yeah, there was there's a little spell in there.
There's some blurbs.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for you, seeing it across board had to be rewarding.
It's really rewarding. I've said all along that at this level, okay, the FCS level, the only thing that moves the needle nationally and from a financial standpoint is men's basketball and now women's basketball, because they get a unit if you win. It's it. When I took over as the AD, I wanted to run college athletics, and it's a business.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's great to see the vision come to fruition. I think right now we're filming. I think that we are literally third in the country this year in men's and women's combined wins.
Yes.
Behind UConn and Michigan.
UConn, Michigan, McNeese.
So it's
a
amazing.
Sesame Street song. One of these things doesn't belong here, and there's McNeese.
Yeah, it's amazing. And, I'm really excited about the tournament. I think both teams have double byes. Both teams have great shots to win it.
I would imagine both teams are going to be favored for most people because of the home court. This is your moment because this is what you basically did everything for.
This moment, that's right.
This moment. Mm-hmm. So it is an interesting time here. We're going to get into men's basketball. By the way, let's not forget, the men are 26-5, I believe.
26-5.
And finished second place, 1 game behind SFA. They'll be the 2 seed. Dumars Johnson just broke Joe Dumars' scoring record for a freshman.
Correct.
Now, I know it. I've heard all the things. Well, Joe Dumars didn't have the 3-point shot.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Larry Johnson doesn't have that great of a 3-point shot either all the time either. So he's hit or miss. But to me, that is an impressive step because that's a year of good play.
100%. And look, let's really think about this, okay? What Coach Armstrong has done with this team is amazing. He walked into really, really big shoes, okay? We're 26-5, and last night we were 60 net.
Yeah.
Which is the highest we've ever been.
Ever been.
And think about this now. The last 4 games, okay, we have played without the reigning player of the year. And you take the quote-unquote player of the year, best player, off of any of the teams in this conference and see what they do. And all Coach and his staff did was rally and have 4 huge wins. We beat
4 physical wins against teams that are going to make the tournament. That are
4 of the top 5 teams in the league.
Yeah.
That we went without Javon Garcia.
And Garcia was basically hurt and cramping at SFA, and
that's exactly
your only loss. That, by the way, is your only loss in the last 13 games.
Correct.
You have gone the second half of the year with 1 loss. That's
Correct.
at SFA when you had the lead with 3:21 left, and he went out.
That's right.
So there's a lot of things that I think people can do. Look, I wrote it already. It's going to be out on Thursday's paper, saying what a difficult job he had. It was a no-win situation because of who he was replacing. And I think he's done as good a job as I've seen. Saturday's game was as well-coached game at UNO that I've seen here. It was a tremendously well-coached game, the way he handled having a lead, losing the lead. Did it last night again, Monday night. Had a big lead, 15-point lead. It gets down to 2. Then he's able to get them back to their base of defense and control the game.
No doubt about it. I tell you, I told him that afterwards. I said, he managed that game and coached that game better than I've seen in a long time. We were playing. Larry Johnson's cramping. Garway is hurt or foul trouble.
Trouble.
Garcia's out, And, again, UNO just went to Stephen F. Austin and won. So it was and they.
He controlled, two things he did was he controlled the number of possessions.
Correct.
And by doing that, at the end of the game, he could only win it. He could not lose it at the end of the game. That's how you control a game as a coach.
And everyone, there's people out there, right? Well, how are we going to replace, Will Wade, et cetera, et cetera. Bill Armstrong is a really, he has done an unbelievable job.
Yeah.
And he is we're top 60, and there's a lot of people, as you know, that still don't understand, right? But we're 60 in the net.
Yeah.
Best we've ever been here. We're 26-5, and yes, we are the 2 seed. But I'm telling you right now, I love our situation. I love the fact that we probably have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder, and this tournament is what it's all about.
You're in as good a position as if you were the 1 seed, and this is all that matters. When we come back, we will have the 1 seed.
That's right.
The 1 seed, 27-4, 20-game winning streak, just cut down the nets on Monday night with a huge win over at then number 2 Stephen F. Austin. To win here by 27 points against them sends a huge message that they're ready for the postseason.
Yep.
Ayla Guzzardo will be our guest after this on Poke Nation.
Well, it's game day at the Legacy Center, and the McNeese Cowboys are warmed up and ready to play. Cowboys have a new player this year, number 22, Katie Ferdinand. This girl loves basketball and McNeese so much she can't wait to get out on the floor. And we're off. Shoemate tips the brewer, and there goes Katie.
Ferdinand Financial Group supports the McNeese Cowboys. The Cowboys are going to do some really big things. Really big.
McNeese athletes bring big energy, big plays, and big spirit to every game. That's why Lakeside is proud to be such a huge fan. We're a hometown team too, in the business of backing big dreams across our community every day. And we always bank on big wins with McNeese Sports. Go big with Lakeside and McNeese.
Join Don's Wash Club and score big on clean rides all season. Unlock discounts on washes, interior cleanings, oil changes, and more. Whether you're tailgating or heading home after the game, keep your ride looking like a pro. Not ready to commit? No worries. Scan the QR code on screen to see what we're all about. Enjoy your ride with Don's on McNeese, Ryan, and Nelson.
Welcome back to Pope Nation. We have a very special guest, Coach Guzzardo. Welcome back.
Thank you. Fun to be back.
The rose between two thorns.
Right.
We'll do it again.
How nice you two look.
First thing, congratulations. The first goal is accomplished. Regular season champs. Unbelievable. 27-4. Most Southland Conference wins in McNeese history and in the Southland Conference history. Unbelievable job. But like we talked about last night, and this is why I love you so much. I gave you a hug and you said, now we got one more to go.
Oh, yeah. We've got so much more basketball ahead of us. We came here and we're doing what we wanted to do. Winning the regular season, we came here because the conference tournament was played on our home floor. So we set ourselves up to win 2 games on our home floor. Not saying that it's going to be an easy task, but it's that advantage that we were craving.
100%. Oh, cat got your tongue, Jim?
Speechless.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. This is a first.
I was going to say, one of the things about it last night was you scored 87 points. That was a completely different looking team offensively. Now, Ariana Patton went crazy with a record 10 threes. She was 10 of 12. But offensively, you looked like you took advantage of what they gave you more than before. Moving forward, how much do you need that?
Yeah, we've got to have that, and we're capable of being in the 80s almost every game. What we do on the defensive end, just creating those easy transition points, we're trying to get 20-plus transition points every game. And, we're scoring off of the turnovers, but, we were sharing the ball. We played a very unselfish game last night. Then you have a kid like Ariana Patton that's shooting lights out. definitely opens the floor up. But no, our offensive game has definitely came together, and we're playing our best basketball at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, the assist numbers, and I forget the exact actual numbers, but you were well over about 65, 70% of your buckets were assist buckets.
Yeah.
That's huge for you guys.
Yeah, 24 assists. That's big. I think we ended up tying the school record with 24 assists, and we did it versus a very good Stephen F. Austin team that's going to go deep in the tournament. The thing about this group is they don't care who gets the accolades at the end of the game. They don't care who's the leading scorer, and I think that's been fun to watch because they're so unselfish that they just want to win. That's all they want to do, and they're not satisfied with just this win. They want more.
All five starters score in double figures. 2 players get career record nights. That's almost unheard of.
Yeah, while AP was shooting, all of a sudden we look at the stat sheet and we see Dakota's numbers, and it's like, wow,
where'd the 24
where'd
points
those
come
24
from?
points come from? But that she's doing it on both ends of the floor. On the offensive end, the half court set, she's able to do it, and then transition. We're fast, and it's going to be hard to keep up with that pace. We only have to win 2 games. A lot of teams got to win 3 to 4
2 games on your home floor.
on our home floor.
Well, I think there's a lot of things that are impressive, but how hard your girls play on a nightly basis, right? And Jim mentioned, shooting and all that, but what travels
Defense.
is what you do defensively. Because as a former coach, hey, it's great when the ball goes in and everyone loves that. And like last night, it was amazing. But there's a lot of games, and when you get into tournament time, things slow down, etc. Defensively, how hard you guys play is just, it's impressive to me. But why, right? I know you recruit it, but talk about what you do on a daily basis, whether it be September or whether it be February, March. What is it that you do that gets these girls to play that hard consistently?
Yeah, when they get here on campus, when they step foot on campus, that buy-in's got to be unreal. And we don't talk about, the individual accolades. We don't talk about player of the year, freshman of the year, what you can be. We talk about what the team can be. And we can only be that if we play this way. If you watched our game last night, Stephen F. Austin was tired. We weren't. We run a lot. We're in shape. And I think when we played in the NCAA tournament against Iowa a few years ago, we realized we weren't in shape. So our goal is to make sure our players are in shape at the beginning of the season, towards the end of the season. We manage bodies. My coaching staff does a great job with managing minutes and everything like that. But it's the buy-in. You have to buy in and want to be successful and want to win as a team, as a unit, not just as an individual.
3 years ago, this team won 4 games. It was 4-26. You have now flipped the script in your first year here. Did you think you could do it in 1 year?
Yeah, definitely. I was doing it with the same exact team somewhere else, and now I have the resources, facilities, and all the extra amenities to keep building. So yeah, of course we thought we could do it in 1 year. That's what we were hired for. Did we think we could make this big of an impact immediately? But we got the players to do it, and I think that people realize, our defense wins championships, but our offense can sell some tickets, put some people in the seats. They gave them a show last night.
That was a great show. Why did you wait to cut down the nets?
We didn't want us to get satisfied. We're dealing with young kids, and it's hard to keep their heads focused on the task at hand. So I didn't want them to cut down nets. We won the regular season earlier in the year and get satisfied with these past few games. If you watched our last few games, they were tough. The Nichols game was hard. Corpus gave us a good little run for our money, and then we knew we had SFA coming in our home court. So we have bigger things ahead of us, and this was just one step. We got our one trophy, we cut down this first group of nets, so we've got another one next week.
So, Coach, let's shift gears a little bit, is what does this week look like from you? This isn't your first time, playing in conference tournament. So obviously you girls are probably off today or training room or whatever. How do you manage this week to be ready to go for the semifinals?
Yeah, and we talk about their bodies. I think, making sure their bodies are in top tier shape. giving them off today. They've got to take care of their bodies in this style, nutrition, mobility. We work with Liz over at Thrive Fitness, and she has been unreal just to make sure that our girls are moving, moving the way they need to. Their flexibility is there. Their soreness is coming out. My trainers are making sure they're in the cold tub. Nate with cryo. Everything that we have, we're taking advantage of these next few days. Now we're getting in the gym. We're going to get a lot of shots up because now we're able to still practice here on our floor. It's good for us, and now we're having that confidence coming off of this last game.
When we come back with Coach, we'll have more on the upcoming tournament and how they're now the prohibitive favorite after last night, after this.
The Cowboys are going to do some really big things. Really big.
McNeese athletes bring big energy, big plays, and big spirit to every game. That's why Lakeside is proud to be such a huge fan. We're a hometown team too, in the business of backing big dreams across our community every day. And we always bank on big wins with McNeese Sports. Go big with Lakeside and McNeese.
Join Don's Wash Club and score big on clean rides all season. Unlock discounts on washes, interior cleanings, oil changes, and more. Whether you're tailgating or heading home after the game, keep your ride looking like a pro. Not ready to commit? No worries. Scan the QR code on screen to see what we're all about. Enjoy your ride with Don's on McNeese, Ryan, and Nelson.
Well, it's game day at the Legacy Center, and the McNeese Cowboys are warmed up and ready to play. Cowboys have a new player this year, number 22, Katie Ferdinandson. This girl loves basketball and McNeese so much she can't wait to get out on the floor. And we're off. Shoemate tips the brewer, and there goes Katie.
Ferdinandson Financial Group supports the McNeese Cowboys.
We're back with Ayla Guzzardo, conference championship again. A year after not cutting down the nets here. You get to cut them down last night. Now comes the tournament itself. You kind of get all the benefits of being at home and that, but you also have the biggest target now. How do you kind of react to that? And how do you mix the conversation of rust, because you're not going to play for almost a week and a half, to rest? How does that work?
Yeah, I think we had a target when we stepped foot on campus.
I didn't get a target when somebody drove down there, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we came here with a big target, so we're used to that. We've been the hunting for so long, and now we're the hunted, so we're used to it. But now we talk about this next week. We can't get rusty. But if you've watched any of my players' press conferences, which you've been in all of them, you'll realize our practices are harder than our games.
Yeah.
So we're going to simulate everything. We'll be doing special situations. I'll be going over probably every defense that we could see in this upcoming tournament. So our preparation is still going to be there. All the offensive sets that, our side of the bracket especially is running, we're going to be running that during practice. So we're going to knock that rust off really quick, but we're also going to make sure to take care of those bodies.
The fact that you've played everybody twice, how different is that than, say, last year where you didn't play everybody? You played the majority of teams twice, but you didn't play everybody twice. So, someone you may not have seen for almost 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, you look at SFA. We only played SFA once last year. And then we get to the tournament, and we see them in the championship game, and we folded. We've got so much film on these first 2 games. Our first game, we shot 29% and won in overtime. That's unheard of. You don't win games shooting 29%. But we had 31 offensive rebounds. We played hard that game. So now we come to this next game, and we showed that we can make shots and play hard, and then what we do. So we know what the recipe for success is versus them. We know what we have to do. And, our girls are bought in to that scouting report.
Well, that's a huge loss for them because they now lose the double bye after last night.
Definitely.
100%. And the double bye really matters.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. And I just think it's one of the things, again, I said this in the last segment, there's a lot of things to be impressive about. But when you win the conference 3 games ago, it's easy to kind of get a little bit complacent, right? It's easy to get like, but you went on the road and won 2 games. The first game after you clinched, you were down at half. And then, I was watching, I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting how this is going to play out here. And then all of a sudden the second half, it's like woke up and ever since that second half, we haven't looked back. So talk a little bit about what happened in that halftime, because as a coach, you know, and I know this, like, it's easy for your players, your coaching staff, et cetera. The scouts not quite as tight. Talk about that.
And that's what it was. We weren't prepared that game like we were last night. And you know, halftime happened. I think a marker was spiked, flew. It was, you know, we lost a Sharpie marker that day. But we woke up and we realized how we should play and how we need to play moving forward. Every game that we played since then, since, you know, winning regular season, we say it's a championship game, you know, and we try to take every single game, these past few games, as if this was the tournament. You got to win or you go home. And that's the way we need our girls. You know, we don't want them to be afraid of losing, but we want them to win so bad that that's how their thought process is. You know, going into this tournament, it's win or go home.
That's the best. Do you agree that that's the best 10 quarters you've played all year?
Hands down.
Since then, since the second half of that?
Since the second half.
I remember at halftime that I watched, I was like, this is going to be really interesting how this plays out. And yes, it's been so that, like I said, there's a lot of things that are impressive, but after that halftime, those 10 quarters, I mean, it's been
the best 10 quarters, yeah.
Right.
You know what I find impressive?
What's that?
How every time it's a road game, you get yourself on TV.
I don't try to
You
do
were there
that.
hugging
The camera
right
loves them.
I don't try to
The
love
camera
man.
loves them.
Jim, I really try not to do that. I just try
It's
to hide.
funny.
I just try to hide and watch a basketball game. I really do. Like last
Generally,
night, I'm
if you're
sitting there
gonna
eating
hide, there's a
popcorn.
tunnel. You don't need to be.
Okay. Let me. I got one other question for you, Coach, and this is, what do you do in practice every day, still today, that you did in October?
We start our practices off running every single day. Every single day. Like I told you, we were not in shape, and I don't ever want us to fall off. Now, sometimes I'll do a little bit less running. You know, those Fridays where you got one day preps, but
Sure.
we're gonna run every single day. We're gonna hold them accountable every single day. When we go over our offense, we run for turnovers every single day. No matter if I have a game, no matter if we don't. Every single day we shoot free throws because we want to talk about how we don't make free throws. Every single day.
Yeah.
And if we don't make the percentage that we need to, we run for it. So I'm holding them accountable. I want them, when they step up on the line, to feel those nerves just like they're going to feel in the championship game.
And also the thing is that I've noticed at your practice is a lot of repetitive shooting drills.
Yes.
And to me, the repetitive shooting drills have paid off the last 4, 5, maybe 6 games. That seems to be, especially the mid-range shots.
Yeah, and-
Still a little bit of trouble on the layups, but the mid-range shots.
Maybe I need to do some more layup drills. No, but we need to do those shooting drills. And they're game-like shots. They're the threes, they're the kickouts, they're the mid-range pull-ups. So we're doing game-like shots, and we do them every single day, the same drills.
Well, and the reason I asked that is I was taught this years and years ago. Jerry Tarkanian said this one time, and I was like, I always remembered it. Late in the year, it's not about the fancy play. It's about the player that has been developed from October to March. It's like everyone knows what everyone's going to do now. It's, to your point, who's in better shape, who's still locked in mentally, right? Who plays harder and who's developed, because everyone knows your stuff.
Exactly.
And that's why I asked the question. That has been so impressive to me when I watch you practice now and I watch you practice in October. It really is the same.
It's the same. Why am I going to change what works? You know, and for us, we've got to understand that our girls are developing throughout the whole year, but so is everyone else. They're going to know when I run my play, they're going to know exactly. They say ISO, back screen. They know it's coming.
Yeah.
So we have to be able to now watch that film and, you know, in our film room and dissect it. So now when the defense does this, what are you doing? If you know, I thought they were going to guard AP a little bit more, so I told them at the timeout, they're going to guard AP. So Jen, you're going to be open. You know, they looked for AP, she was still open, they threw it.
Yeah.
So they're reading the defense a little bit better, and we're breaking it down really, really well for them.
And I think one player we don't talk enough about here is the development of Ty Sibley over the year. She is a completely different player from 6-7 weeks ago.
Yeah, if they were messing with the court right now, I guarantee you she'd be getting up shots. She's in this gym all the time. And she doesn't want to be in here by herself. She wants a coach with her because she knows that she needs to go at a certain speed every time that she's doing a workout. Her elevation of her basketball is only going to keep getting better. And the best thing about it is her IQ has gotten a lot better. You know, she's always been that athletic person. Her athletic ability has carried her through, but now she's understanding the game. She's slowing down a little bit, and I think that's helping her tremendously.
When we come back with Coach's final comments next week, McNeese women don't start until Wednesday at 10:30 in the morning. That's your first game.
Bring your coffee.
Let's do it.
We'll have Coach's final comments after this.
Join Don's Wash Club and score big on clean rides all season. Unlock discounts on washes, interior cleanings, oil changes, and more. Whether you're tailgating or heading home after the game, keep your ride looking like a pro. Not ready to commit? No worries. Scan the QR code on screen to see what we're all about. Enjoy your ride with Don's on McNeese, Ryan, and Nelson.
Well, it's game day at the Legacy Center, and the McNeese Cowboys are warmed up and ready to play. Cowboys have a new player this year, number 22, Katie Ferdinandson. This girl loves basketball and McNeese so much she can't wait to get out on the floor. And we're off. She made tips to Brewer, and there goes Katie.
Ferdinandson Financial Group supports the McNeese Cowboys.
Well, we're back. So you're excited, she's excited, everybody's excited in town. But I want to get your thoughts on this because college basketball, college sports in general, is still trying to figure this out.
Yep.
Commissioner of the SEC, Greg Stanke, one of two guys that run college sports. Let's be realistic. It's him in the Big Ten.
Right.
Right? You agree with that?
Correct.
He came out and said he'd like to see NCAA or somebody come up with the, I guess, one free transfer. In other words, if you have a second transfer, you have to sit out. The one free transfer rule. Maybe a conference will say you can't transfer into conferences. Conferences can do their own thing. Where do you stand on that?
I agree. I mean, look, where we're at right now is an unsustainable model.
Yeah.
Where it is literally free agents every single year. So I think that it would help the recruiting of high school kids again. I think that everyone deserves a chance. I agree with him. I think everyone deserves a chance to say, hey, I made a mistake. I want to go here. But
or if your coach leaves or something.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that should be added to it. Hey, if your coach leaves, you should be open to go in the portal as well. I think if you graduate with an extra year of eligibility, you should be able to do that.
If you've already graduated, I agree.
But I think, I think that allows players enough freedom, but also think that it allows universities to catch their breath, if you will. I mean, it's an unsustainable model. It just is. I mean, every year a kid's going to go in the portal and try to get more money here, more money. It's an unsustainable model, not only at McNeese, but in the SEC.
Here's your biggest issue is, do you spend your money? Somebody gives you NIL money, and they say, okay, now go get a team. But that means they're going to be interested in anybody new you bring in. Well, the poor kid over here that's been there for 3 years, he's not the new shiny toy, so he doesn't get the money because he's not getting you the NIL guys coming in. All of a sudden, the loyalty is lost. There's no reason to stay.
Yeah, 100%. You're exactly right. I agree with what he said. I think Commissioner Sankey is.
It would
is
calm
100%.
the waters.
It would 100%. We need to do something at some point in time because I'm telling you, it is an unsustainable model.
When you run for commissioner of the college board, you're on every other board. So
Whatever.
Figure it out. All right, let's hit you up really quick. Men's basketball opens up on Wednesday night, 8:30, a week from tonight.
The 10th. That's right.
The 10th, 8:30, probably roughly 8:30. They do not get the national TV game though.
Correct.
They do not get the extra hour and a half, 2 hours rest, but still basically otherwise it's the same seed. So we want people to know that. Women open up on
Thursday.
Thursdays. Men are Tuesday.
No,
women
Wednesday.
are Wednesday.
Excuse me.
Yeah, the championship game for each one is Wednesday, Thursday at 6 o'clock here, no matter what. I would say get your tickets because
Single game tickets are on sale.
There you go.
Right? So you don't have to buy the whole tournament. You can say, hey, I want to watch McNeese play on Wednesday in this segment. You can get single game tickets.
Those are actually sessions. Right?
Correct. There are sessions.
So you get 2 games
your
for the one.
sessions. That's right.
And we'll see you next week on Poke Nation.